Hi, welcome to our half-hour practice. Today we're going to be doing a Yin Yoga practice, which will be a little bit different to what we've been doing previously. So this is a more slow meditative practice. We will be holding positions and stretches for an extended period of time, so between 3 to 5 minutes. And this just allows us to slowly make our way into the deeper tissues of the body, the connective tissues, and deeper into the muscles to release tension and holding. And the result of that leaving us relaxed and refreshed. So we end up using a lot of energy with this unconscious holding in the body. So once we're able to release that, we're able to redirect that energy back through the body and generally feel a lot better. So one thing I would recommend is having a blanket, and we're going to use the blanket as a bit of a prop. If you don't have a blanket, you can use a towel, but all we're wanting to do is fold it up a few times and then roll it so we get a cylindrical shape. And actually, mine's not quite long enough. I've rolled it the wrong way. I'm going to roll it lengthwise. So you want a little bit of length on this one, particularly for our first position. And if you like, you can grab a few cushions as well, so they can be a really nice way to support and prop up the body in this practice. Ideally, you want to be as comfortable as you can. So to begin, we'll just sit down and place the feet on the floor. And then place the blanket that you've rolled over the top of the feet, and then start to pull the blanket around to the outsides of the legs. And then from there, you can drop the knees out to the side and bring the soles of the feet together, and you'll feel how the roll of the blanket supports the outsides of your ankles, the outsides of your legs. And then just simply bring yourself down onto your back. And once you lie down, if you feel like you need or would like some support for the head, you can place a small cushion underneath the head. If you're like me and your ponytail's feeling a little bit annoying, you can just adjust that so that the back of the head feels as though it's resting nice and flat and evenly on the floor. And then, having come into this position, if this already feels quite intense for you and you have other props available like cushions, you can place those on the outsides of the thighs just to support the weight of the thighs a little bit there. The weight of the legs, gravity working here, pulling the knees down toward the floor, brings quite a deep stretch through the inner thighs and the area of the groin, and sometimes through hips and even the lower back. So if it feels uncomfortable, painful in any way, then please adjust and utilize some more props so that you're able to be a little more comfortable. Although a little bit of discomfort in the way of a feeling of stretching or opening is always welcome. We don't want to be experiencing pain. So just know that you can adjust and modify these shapes to suit your body and what you need. And of course, if there's anything that does not work for you at all, you're welcome to skip it completely and maybe just lie in Shavasana or take child's pose. Or take another stretch that works for you. So once you're here, you might like to take a few deeper breaths. Maybe take those breaths deeply in through the nose. If it feels good to you, you can sigh out and release audibly through the mouth or through the nose. So using these deeper breaths to settle in, to orientate your focus to this moment. And to jumpstart the parasympathetic nervous system, to bring us to a place of deeper rest and relaxation. A little capsule of rest in the day. And after those 3 breaths, either with your hands down on the floor resting beside you, or you might like to bring a hand to the belly and a hand further up to the torso on the chest perhaps. And just using the hands to feel the movement of breath in your body. So you might notice that the hand that's resting over the chest is moving more than the hand that's resting on the belly, or vice versa. And this is just giving us some information about the way that we're breathing and where we're at mentally, emotionally. So if our nervous system is perceiving threat or stress, we're more likely to be breathing predominantly into the chest. Shorter, sharper breaths. Maybe the breathing is irregular. And when we're relaxed, more attuned to the parasympathetic nervous system, the breathing is deeper down into the torso. It feels as if the breath is traveling into the abdomen. The belly rises and falls with each breath. So having noticed how you're breathing, perhaps starting to consciously take your breath a little deeper into your belly. So that with each breath in, you feel the belly rise, and with each breath out, you feel the belly release down toward the floor or toward the spine. And just gradually deepening, lengthening the breath as well. So each breath stretches out a little more. And just count 10 more breaths here in this way. Making sure that the shoulders are relaxed, the weight of the shoulders are resting on the floor. The muscles of the face are soft. Last few breaths here. And then just bringing the hands now to the outsides of the legs and just guiding the legs back together nice and slow. The other thing is when we hold these stretches for longer, it's important to take more time to bring ourselves out because we've got a little bit deeper into those tissues. And take things nice and slow, nice and gentle. So feet to the floor, and then you can take the arms out into a bit of a T position, stretching out either side of the shoulders and keeping your feet together, or you can take your feet out to the outer edges of the mat or just drop the knees from side to side, just getting a bit of movement and blood moving through the hips, an area of the outer hips around the sides of the buttocks. And just keeping your attention on your breathing and on the movement. And ways to anchor your attention in this moment. One more time each side. And coming back to center, hugging the knees into the chest, pressing the lower back into the floor, taking a little rock from side to side, like you're massaging the muscles of the lower back. And if it feels good to you, you can draw your knees in a little bit closer, stretching through backs of legs, compressing through the belly. And then we'll take a roll all the way over to the right side. Just lying on the right side and bringing the knees up out in front of the hips. So we've got a bit of a fetal position happening, and there's right angles at the hips, the knees to the lower legs. And we'll extend the arms out in front, bring the palms of the hands together. And here, if you feel like you'd like some support for your head, you can use that blanket, fold it up, place it underneath the head. And then from here, take your left arm, reach all the way up and take it all the way over to the floor behind you. And so now we come into a twist. If you find that your left arm doesn't quite reach the floor, or it's kind of hovering there above the floor, feel free to place something underneath your arm or underneath your hand so that your arm can rest on something, and that just relaxes the muscles through the shoulder. If it's hovering up in the air like that, there will be muscles working to hold it in place. What we're looking to do here is to relax the muscles so we're able to get nice and deep into the joints and the connective tissues. So your head might be centered here, or you might turn your gaze to the left, following that left hand. Maybe taking a few deeper breaths to settle in and to relax the body into this position. And then counting 10 deep breaths as you hold here. Seeing how still and quiet you can become moment to moment, which can be sometimes the most challenging part of the yin practice, is bypassing the desire or the tendency to fidget. That's kind of the mind's way to discharge energy, to keep us busy and distracted. So we just practice getting quiet and getting still and finding comfort, finding ease in that stillness. Last few breaths, pulling each inhale down to the belly. If you had your head turned to the left, just bringing your head to center. Take your left arm all the way over to your right hand again, and then roll yourself onto your back. Take your arms into that T position, take your feet wide and drop your knees in toward each other. So we're coming into a constructive rest position. Now right arm's going to cross over the torso, over the left arm as you reach to grab opposite shoulder blades. And this one's a little more active. We reach to grab the shoulder blades and create some space between them. So in the upper back area, we're spreading into those muscles. And then releasing that, relaxing the hands, relaxing the arms, allowing them to drop down toward the chest. Taking 5 deep breaths. And breathing in to open the arms out. And bringing the knees into the chest and then rolling all the way over to the left side. Bring the right hand on top of the left. So arms are extended straight out in front of the shoulders, knees are straight out in front of the hips. And then breathing in, taking the right arm all the way up and over to the right. And again, if you need to, supporting the right arm or right hand with a pillow, a cushion, or rolled up blanket. Taking a moment here to notice as well the sensations of twist and twisting happening through the torso. Maybe the sensations of compression through the muscles of the abdomen. So this twisting through the belly is a kind of a massage for those internal organs. Massage helping with the circulation of blood and fresh blood, and combined with our deep breathing, it's fresh oxygenated blood now moving through the organs, through the tissues of the body. Settling in, just reminding any certain parts of the body that are still holding, reminding those parts to relax. And mentally counting through your next 10 breaths. Keeping the breathing relaxed. The count offers a way to focus the mind. So there's no rush to get to 10 counts, 10 breaths. Just counting each breath as it comes and as it goes. And then as you're ready, once you've gone through those 10 breaths, bringing your right arm all the way back over to the left. Pause there for a moment. And then returning to the back, bringing the soles of the feet to the floor, maybe a little bit wider, and dropping the knees together. And this time we take the left arm up and over the chest, over the right arm. Reach back to grab the shoulder blades, give them a bit of a squeeze, spread into that space behind you, upper back, and then relax the arms, relax the hands, drop the chin toward the chest slightly. 5 deep breaths, softening into the floor, softening elbows toward the chest. And releasing. The last stretch we're going to take is quite a deep opening or stretch through the hip. So there's a couple of ways that we can do this. If you're wanting to just stay where you are lying on the ground, then you can just cross your right shin, right ankle over your left thigh, just behind the knee there. You might find that that is enough, drawing your left heel in nice and close to the buttocks, maybe gently pressing your right knee away. If you feel like you'd want a little bit more of a stretch, you can always lift the left foot up off the ground. Maybe interlace your hands at the back of the right leg as you start to, the left leg, as you start to draw the thigh in towards you and simultaneously press that right knee away. So getting into the outer right hip. Other option is to come into pigeon pose. So we'll roll to the right, bring ourselves all the way up onto hands and knees. This is going to offer a much deeper stretch because we use the weight of the body to deepen into the area of the hip. So right knee comes forward to the right wrist, and then the ankle or right foot slides across to the left. So we get a bit of an angle there, and left foot slides back. And you can stay high on your hands, or you can fold your torso over the leg, bringing the forearms to the floor. Just taking your attention to what you're feeling as you hold here. And making sure that the breath is still flowing with ease. The muscles of the face are soft and relaxed. Taking 10 more breaths here. And if you're lying on your back, just releasing the feet to the floor. If you're in pigeon, and just coming up onto your hands and tucking your left toes under, lifting the knee up and sending the right leg back. If you'd like, you can come into downward facing dog, walk the legs out. And then we just get ready for the other side. In your own time, bringing your left knee forward, sliding left foot over to the right and extending back through your right leg. If you've opted for the variation on your back, then bringing the right foot to the floor, crossing the left ankle over the thigh. You might keep your foot on the floor, or you might start to pull your right thigh in as you press your left knee away. Making your choice based on what feels best for you. Steady, even breaths. And taking 10 more breaths. And becoming aware of the space and stillness between each breath. And those in pigeon, coming up onto the hands. If you're on your back, then just release, bring the feet to the floor, and take any little kind of movement here that would feel good for you. And just a chance here for you to explore some movement on your own. Anything that you feel your body might need in order to feel balanced and restored coming to the end of our practice. And we'll make our way into Shavasana, into rest. And once you've found that final resting position, we'll take 6 long, slow and deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. And if you want to extend your exhalation even longer, you can gently purse your lips like you're blowing out through a straw. And anytime we're extending the out breath, we're stimulating that restful state in the body and in the mind. So when you're ready, just beginning deep breath in through the nose, feeling the lungs from the bottom all the way up to the top. So it feels as if the breath is moving like a wave up through the body and slowly out through the mouth. I'm taking 5 more of these at your own pace. When you're done, relaxing all effort on the breath and allowing your breathing to become natural and spontaneous again. You bring your attention to relaxing each and every part of your body from the forehead down to the feet. All the muscles of the face relaxed, eyes, mouth and jaw, down through shoulders and arms, chest, belly and back. A whole area of hips and pelvis, heavy and soft. All the muscles of the legs and hips relaxed. Perfectly still and peaceful. Taking these last few moments as a gift to yourself, an opportunity to recharge and replenish, which is so, so important in our fast-paced lifestyles. Something we really don't get enough of is just quiet rest. Moments of stillness. Moments without distraction or guilt. I'll leave you here, but feel free to take a bit longer to extend your Shavasana, your relaxation, by a few more minutes if that feels right for you. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.